When starting a project, Revit begins by giving us default plan views. Sometimes, additional plan views are necessary for various reasons. To create a new plan view, open the Plan View tool in the View tab. We are now given 4 options for creating different types of views. We will start by opening the Floor Plan tool. Notice that there are no available floor plan views to create. That's because all of the levels already have an associated floor plan. Uncheck the Do Not Duplicate Existing Views option to allow the creation of multiple plan views of the same level. Next, let's select the floor that we would like to create a plan view for. We also have the option to choose the scale now before the view is created. We can now select OK to create our new view. Our new view will appear in the project browser. Let's rename it First Floor 2. After opening the Plan View tool, we can also create a reflected ceiling plan. Once again, we must uncheck the Do Not Duplicate Existing Views option. Select the desired level, choose a scale, and select OK to create the new view. We can now rename our new ceiling plan First Floor 2. Again, using the Plan View tool, we can create a plan region, which is like setting a plan view within a plan view. Opening this tool allows us to create a sketch of our plan view region. Once the sketch is complete, we have a section of our plan view that can be modified independently of the rest of our view. Finally, after opening the Plan View tool, we can create area plans. These plans are used to get an idea of the square footage of a structure. The area of the structure can be calculated in 2 ways. Gross building calculates the total constructed area of a building, which is any area inside the outer face of the building's exterior walls. Rentable area uses a more detailed measuring scheme based on the Building Owners and Managers Association. To make an area plan, select a floor, choose a scale, and select OK. Revit will now ask to automatically create boundary lines. Select Yes. We have now created an area plan, and Revit uses purple lines to outline the enclosed areas of the structure. This view can also be found in the project browser. Under the Home tab, we can place tags in our view that tell us the square footage of each area. Open the Area Tag tool and select Yes to load in a new tag type. Once we have a tag type, move the cursor to the middle of an outlined area and place a tag in order to label the square footage contained in that area. Another way to create new plan views is to duplicate existing ones. Notice the dimensions added to the first floor plan view. To begin creating a new plan view, let's right-click the plan view that we want to duplicate. We are now presented with 3 duplicate view options. Start by selecting Duplicate. Notice that the new view does not include the dimensions. Right-click on the original floor plan and this time choose Duplicate with Detailing. Now notice that the dimensions from the original view were carried over to our new floor plan view. Finally, let's choose Duplicate as Dependent. This creates a view that is filed in the project browser within another view. This way of duplicating can often help with organizing your project. Once a view has been created, we can select what and how things appear in a plan view. Let's rename one of our duplicate views First Floor Furniture. In the View tab, open the Visibility Graphics tool. In this menu, we can change how elements are displayed based on their category. We can hide elements, change the appearance of their lines, halftone them, or make them transparent. To emphasize the furniture in our view, let's halftone the stairs, rails, walls, and doors. Next, let's hide specialty equipment, like the elevators. Also, let's make the furniture lines red and thicker by overriding the current settings. Finally, let's hide the dimensions that are visible in this view. When finished, we can select OK to apply these changes. It is often helpful to create plan views focusing on specific areas of a model. Once plan views have been created, we can edit what we see and how we see it. Let's start by editing one of our first floor plan views. First, we will select the Show Crop Region option, which is available in the View Properties or on the View control bar. To edit the crop region, click on it and move the boundaries. Once the boundaries are set, we can now hide the crop region if we'd like. We can also select whether we'd like to show the cropped view or not. Once we are done editing the crop region of a view, we will notice that the views at the same level are not affected. In the View Properties, select the View Range option. We can change the top or bottom locations of our range or the cut plane of our view. Let's try raising the cut plane to 7 feet. Notice that the doors in our model disappear because their openings are below the cut plane. Let's return our cut plane back to 4 feet. Instead of changing the cut plane for the whole view, we can create a plan region instead. Open the Plan Views tool and select Plan Region. Sketch the area of the view that we would like to edit. When we have finished the sketch, we can now edit the view range of that region. Once again, try moving the cut plane to 7 feet. Now, we've assigned this area a new cut plane, while the rest of the view maintains its original settings. In the View Properties, change the Underlay option from None to Second Floor. Now, the second floor plan view is visible in the first floor plan view. This can be done for any level. After opening the second floor plan view, we can underlay the first floor. This feature is helpful because it allows us to select objects that are located on another level or use them as reference points. We can change the scale of a plan view which reflects how the plan will be printed. Notice the dimensions on our first floor plan view. Now try changing the scale to 1 inch equals 1 foot. This would result in a larger print, and the font of the annotations becomes very small compared to the size of the drawing. Now let's try changing the scale to 1/16 of an inch equals 1 foot. This would result in a smaller print, and the font of the annotations would overpower the size of the drawings. Select a good scale appropriate for our model. let's return to the scale 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. In the plan view, we can also change its level of detail. Our options range from fine to coarse. Select fine and notice the level of detail, especially in our elevator component. Switching back to coarse, we lose a lot of detail and Revit displays a more generic representation of our model. We have seen how useful elevations and sections can be. Now we will learn how to create them. Open the Elevation tool under the View tab. Notice that the arrow points to walls when you hover next to them. Place the elevation tag. Now let's select the tag and change its type to an interior elevation. Next, let's choose the views we want to create. Uncheck a box and choose OK to delete a view. To add views, select the appropriate boxes. The new views now show up in the project browser and can be renamed to reflect what they show. We will rename this view Stairs, since it points in the direction of the stairs. If we select a view, we can change its far clip offset, or how much of the background we will see in that view. To easily open an elevation, we can double-click its tag. We can also open an elevation view by selecting it in the project browser. Let's look at some of the views that we have just created. In the View tab, open the Section tool. Now, let's draw a line where we want our view to be located. Next, let's adjust the far clip offset. Find the new section view under Sections in the project browser and open it to see what we have just created. If we want to change the direction of the section view, let's return to the first floor plan view. Select the section line and click the small arrows to change the direction. Adjust the far clip offset, and then, once again, open the view in the project browser. We will notice that the section view now looks the other way. View properties can be modified for elevation and section views in much the same way as plan views. We can use either the Properties palette or the View control bar to edit our view. As with plan views, we can change the scale, detail, and the visual style of our view. We can also select the crop region and modify the boundaries of the view to see more or less of the model. We can also hide the crop region or turn the crop view off or on. Similarly to plan views, we can select what we want to view and how to view it in section or elevation views. Let's select Visibility Graphics from the View tab or in the Properties palette. To focus on the furniture, let's start by turning the furniture lines red. Next, let's remove the railings from the view. Finally, let's halftone the stairs. Selecting OK will apply these changes. We are now left with a view that focuses on the furniture components of our model. We can select the default 3D view multiple ways: the Quick Access toolbar, under 3D Views in the View tab, and in the Project browser. To duplicate the view, we can right-click and select Duplicate. Now, let's right-click the new view and rename it 3D Elevation. The View Cube widget can be used to select standard views like the right, left, and top sides, or the corners of our model. We can always return to the model's default position by selecting the Home icon. We can also click and hold the View Cube widget and move the cursor around to orbit the model in space. Next, let's select the Steering Wheels widget. Using this tool, we can click and hold Orbit in order to rotate our model. In the 3D view, check the box in the View Properties palette named Section Box. This turns on the section box. Clicking on the box allows us to move the limits of the box. Let's move the edges of the box in order to create a 3D section view. We can use the View Cube widget to get appropriate views of the 3D model. Now, let's duplicate the default 3D view and rename it 3D Plan. Once again, show the section box and adjust the limits of the box to create a 3D plan view. In a floor plan, open the Camera tool under 3D View in the View tab. Now, let's click a location on the plan view to place the camera. Next, we will drag the target out to the object or area of interest. Place the target. This will open up our perspective view. Let's rename the view Studio Stairs. In the view of our studio stairs, we can change the detail level and visual style. First, change the visual style to shaded with edges. Next, let's select the crop region. Adjust the region to see more of our perspective view. Now, let's return to the first floor plan view. In the project browser, right-click our new perspective view and select Show Camera. The camera now appears in our first floor plan view. With the camera displayed, we can now move the target, far clip offset, or the camera itself. In the view properties, we can also change things such as the eye elevation or camera height. Let's lower our camera to 1 foot off the ground. Returning to the 3D view will show the changes. Our widgets will also work in this view. Select the steering wheels widget. With this widget, we can move the camera up or down. Or we can also look around to see different areas of the room. Many of the options found in the View Properties palette can be found in the View control bar. First, let's change the detail setting. Choose Fine, and notice that with this level of detail, the columns are visible in the view. Now, let's change the detail to Coarse, and notice that the structural components disappear. We can also change the display style. First, try Wireframe, which shows all the lines in our model. Now, let's try Hidden Line, which only shows the closest lines while hiding the lines that are in the background. Now try Shaded, which colors the view. Next, let's choose Shaded with Edges, which clearly adds edges to the shaded view. Select the Consistent Color option, which displays colors without shading. Finally, let's try the Realistic Visual Style, which accurately displays the color, pattern, and texture of the materials being used. Now click on the second floor plan view. We can change the same options in the plan view as we have done in the 3D view. We will start by changing the detail from Coarse to Fine, and notice the complexity that appears in the elevator component. Finally, change the visual style of this view to Shaded with Edges. The graphics display options can be found in the View Properties or in the View control bar. Open the graphics display options. Choose the Cast Shadows options and select OK. Shadows will now be displayed. We can toggle shadows on and off in the View control bar. Once again, open the graphic display options. Select Sun Setting. Revit automatically places the sun from top right, so we will change this option to top left. Select OK twice and notice that the direction of the shadows has changed. Open the graphics display options and select Sun Setting. There are three options that will let us choose a location for our model. First, select Still. This will allow us to choose a location, date, and time for our model in order to cast accurate shadows. Select OK twice to see these changes. Now, in Sun Setting, choose Single Day. Once again, we can choose the location, date, and time settings for our model. Now, instead of turning shadows on and off, we can turn case studies on and off. We can also preview this single day case study. If necessary, we can also export these case studies into another program. In a 3D perspective view, let's open the graphic display options. Select the gradient background option. Let's choose new colors for the sky and horizon to resemble the evening sky. Using a 3D view, open the graphic display options and notice the different silhouette styles. We can also view the properties of each of these styles. Choose Wide as our new silhouette style and select OK to apply this change. Now notice that the edges of our model have all been turned into thick black lines.